Got the microphone thing sorted out. How you doing, YouTube? It's Will from Development. This is my 441st weekly update. I actually previously recorded this, so this one's going to be even faster because I explained that there's a show tomorrow that I have to go to, not competing, just going to support and hang out. And it is all the way down in West Palm. I live in Central Florida, and it's about a 2.5 hour ride for me, so going to get up nice and early and hopefully leave early. If it's a 12-hour day tomorrow, then I'm feeling good. Going to leave here around 5:30, and as long as I'm home by 5:30, I'll be in a pretty decent mood, which probably means not a lot of socializing after the show, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly run down how this week went. The major lesson for this week is less is more. And Monday's squats went amazing. I had a really good leg day, actually. And then Tuesday's press day was like an amazing press day, especially on log. Cleans felt really good. Positioning felt awesome. And then yesterday, deadlifts went pretty good. It was one of the rotation where I finally get to do conventional deadlifts. And the plan right now is to try to get my stiff bar deadlift up to and beyond what my deadlift bar deadlift is, and then kind of go back to the deadlift bar and see then what I can make happen. And honestly, if every 3 weeks I keep kind of jumping like 20 pounds like I did this week on that lift, I'll be very, very content with that. And so far, my little experiment of doing actual deadlifts once a month is working. And I think what it's really doing is just keeping the overall intensity, especially on my total nervous system, lower. And so that's benefiting me greatly. The reality is I have a very labor-intensive job, and it takes a lot out of me, and probably more than I want to admit. I know I've talked about that before, but it's worth repeating, because today was a reminder of that. I walked in and I was like, man, I just want to hit 90% today, at least just for one, an axle. And I took me 2 tries, but I couldn't even clean it the first time. But I was like, man, I know once I get this up to my chest, I'll be able to grind this out, and that's exactly what happened. And, I got the 190% today, and I was like, all right, I'm going to drop down. And, last week I did some rep work at, I think, 70%. I said, let me do 75% this week for some rep work. And I did some of it, and it was really tough, but I got through it and it felt good. And then I just tore it up on accessories. And I feel like I had a really good workout today, really good training session. I feel like some work was done. And that's the real important part. Sometimes realizing less is more and allowing yourself to kind of, not let the ego win. You don't have to always lift super heavy to actually be able to lift heavy sometimes. Practice what you need to, lifting heavy is a skill, but sometimes less is more. And if you don't, accept that sometimes, then it catches up to you. I'm a firm believer that's why my bicep got as messed up as it did, because I was just going and going and going and sort of ignoring it. And then now I'm paying for it. But, I did some sandbag on Thursday after deadlifts just because they were out and they were doing them. And I said, well, I'm going to do them too. And was able to do a few reps without actually feeling like my bicep was going to tear off the bone. And now my biceps are just sore from actual bicep work I've been doing, rather than being in pain, which is I miss that feeling. Haven't had that feeling in a long time. Just remember less is more, and don't let the ego win. And if you do, then what's your excuse?